"You're no longer wanted in this company," Kevin had said 5 years ago. Now that same Kevin was sitting in Marcus's office asking for help. Marcus looked at his 42-year-old former partner, remembering that painful day from 5 years ago. The arrogance that had been on Kevin's face back then had now given way to desperation. "Marcus, please listen to me," Kevin was saying with a trembling voice. "The company is going under. Only you can save us." Marcus smiled, but it wasn't a warm smile. "Go ahead, I'm listening," he said calmly. Marcus and Kevin's friendship dated back to their college years. Both had studied engineering and started working at the same company after graduation. After working side by side for 10 years, the idea of starting their own company had emerged. "Together we can change the world," Kevin had said back then. In 2018, they had founded Technosoft Solutions. Marcus was responsible for technical matters, while Kevin handled marketing and sales. The company was based on a 50-50 partnership. The first years were tough, but thanks to the software solutions Marcus developed, their client portfolio grew rapidly. Kevin used his social skills to make deals with big companies, while Marcus worked day and night developing products. Within 3 years, the company had become one of the city's most successful technology firms. They had 25 employees, and their annual revenue reached $2 million. Marcus's technical expertise and Kevin's business development skills seemed to create a perfect harmony. But things started to change at the beginning of 2021. Kevin's behavior began to differ. He stopped inviting Marcus to important meetings and preferred to meet with clients alone. Technical details bore them, he would explain. "You stay in the lab. I'll handle external relations." At first, Marcus considered this situation normal. Everyone had their own strengths. But then he began to notice stranger things. New employees were being hired without his input. Information about the company's financial situation wasn't being shared. Kevin constantly blocked him, saying, "Administrative matters are my area, you focus on technology." Marcus's biggest mistake was trusting Kevin blindly. They had signed the company partnership agreement without a lawyer because, "We're brothers, we don't need lawyers," Kevin had said. In the contract, the consent of the other partner was required to remove one of the partners from the company, but control of financial matters was left entirely to Kevin. In mid-2021, Marcus learned the real situation of the company. By chance, an old client called and asked, "When will the new software update come?" Marcus was surprised because no work had been done for that client. When he investigated, he faced a horrifying truth. Kevin was selling the software Marcus had developed under different names, but transferring the income only to his own account. Marcus decided to discuss the issue with Kevin. "Kevin, what does this mean?" he asked, showing the documents in his hand. "Why are you selling the software I developed without telling me?" Kevin's face changed. That sincere friend was no longer there across from him. "Marcus, business doesn't work like that. You just write code, I do the real work. Client relations, marketing, sales, it's all thanks to me." "But this is a partnership, Kevin. We need to make decisions together." "Partnership, huh?" Kevin laughed coldly. "You're still that naive, Marcus. This is the business world, not a friendship game. Either you adapt or you get out." That day, Marcus saw how a 15-year friendship could end in an instant. Kevin was someone else now, or maybe he had always been like this and Marcus hadn't wanted to see it. The following week, Kevin called Marcus to his office. A lawyer was sitting at the desk. "Marcus, it's time for us to part ways," Kevin said. "The company needs a new vision, and you don't fit that vision." "What do you mean?" The lawyer intervened. "Mr. Marcus, according to the company partnership agreement, it has been decided to terminate your partnership. The amount to be paid to you has been calculated." Marcus looked at Kevin in amazement. "You can't do this. This company is my effort too. You're no longer wanted in this company," Kevin said in a cold voice. "Either you accept this offer or you leave under worse conditions. The choice is yours." Marcus looked at the documents in his hand. Despite being a 50% partner of the company, he was only offered $80,000. The company's real value was at least $1.2 million. "This is fraud," he said. "This is business," Kevin replied. "Either you accept it or you fight in courts for years. During that time, the company might go bankrupt and you might end up penniless." When Marcus left the office that day, he thought he had made the biggest mistake of his life. But actually, he had learned his biggest lesson. Trust was the most expensive luxury in the business world. In the first months, Marcus was angry, sad, and made revenge plans. But then he adopted a smarter approach. With the $80,000 in his hand and the experience of years, he would make a new beginning, but first he needed to prepare. Marcus focused on a gap he had noticed while working at Technosoft: data security between companies. This area was both profitable and Marcus's area of expertise. He rented a small office and started working with a few freelance programmers. The first year was tough. Marcus took modest projects and slowly built his reputation. Unlike Kevin, he put every agreement in writing, worked with lawyers, and was transparent in financial matters. In the second year, a big opportunity came. One of the city's largest banks wanted to renew its data security system. The solution Marcus developed stood out in the competition. This agreement became the turning point for the new company, SecureNet Solutions. In the third year, SecureNet had already become Technosoft's competitor. Thanks to Marcus's ethical business approach and quality service understanding, the client portfolio was growing rapidly. More importantly, some of Technosoft's big clients, dissatisfied with service quality, began switching to SecureNet. In the fourth year, Marcus heard that Technosoft was experiencing financial difficulties. Kevin's aggressive growth strategy and quality problems had caused customer loss. Additionally, Kevin's unilateral decisions had increased the company's debts. At the beginning of the fifth year, Marcus received an unexpected phone call. The caller was Jake, Technosoft's financial advisor. "Mr. Marcus, I need to meet with you about an urgent matter. There's an important proposal regarding Technosoft." When Marcus met with Jake, he understood the severity of the situation. Technosoft was on the verge of bankruptcy. Major clients had withdrawn, debts had multiplied, employees weren't getting paid. Kevin had found the solution in selling the company. "But Mr. Marcus," Jake said, "Kevin is trying to hide the company's real value. He's giving low prices to buyers because he's keeping debts secret. This is both a legal problem and an ethical problem." An idea came to Marcus's mind. "Jake, can I learn the company's full financial situation?" The next day, Marcus examined the reports showing Technosoft's real situation. The situation was much worse than Kevin had described. The company was not only in financial trouble, but also facing legal problems. Tax debts, employee receivables, incomplete projects. Marcus thought long that evening. The time for revenge had come, but it wouldn't be a ruthless revenge. He would offer a fair solution. The following week, Kevin's phone started ringing. Marcus wasn't calling, of course, but Technosoft's clients were canceling their projects one by one and switching to SecureNet. In Kevin's moment of desperation, the first name that came to mind was his former partner, Marcus. Kevin hung up the phone out of pride on the first call. On the second call, he tried not to break courtesy rules, but Marcus refused to meet with him. On the third call, he was already in a begging state. "Marcus, please meet with me. Let's forget the past and find a solution together." Marcus finally gave an appointment. But this time, it would be a meeting in his own office, according to his own rules. When Kevin entered SecureNet's bright office, he saw what level the man he had fired 5 years ago had reached. Modern furniture, state-of-the-art equipment, success certificates on the walls. Marcus was no longer the owner of a small technology company, but one of the respected names in the sector. "Marcus, look," Kevin started, but Marcus raised his hand to silence him. "First you listen to me, Kevin," Marcus said in a calm voice. "Do you remember what you said to me 5 years ago? You said, 'You're no longer wanted in this company.' What are you doing here now?" Kevin's face reddened. Marcus, I made a mistake back then. I was young and inexperienced. I made wrong decisions. But now we need to find a solution. A solution? Marcus laughed. What solution? Technosoft is going under. That's the reality. I know how you managed the company for 5 years. You lost clients, didn't satisfy employees, ignored quality. Yes, I made mistakes, but the company can still be saved. We just need your expertise. Marcus pulled out a file from his desk. This is a report showing Technosoft's real financial situation. $1 million in debt, 15 lawsuits, 80% customer dissatisfaction. Kevin, this company can't be saved. Kevin's last thread of hope had snapped. So, what do you suggest? You have 2 choices, Marcus said. First, you close the company and try to pay the debts. Your personal assets will probably be seized, and you'll continue paying debts for years. The second option? The second option is you sell the company to me. I'll pay the employees' receivables and complete the ongoing projects. You make a clean exit. Kevin's eyes lit up with hope. How much are you offering? Marcus smiled. $80,000. Kevin's mouth fell open. This must be a joke. That's the money you gave me 5 years ago. Yes, Marcus said calmly. The same amount. Justice sometimes works like that. But the company's value is minus $1 million. Marcus cut him off. I'm actually giving you $1.08 million as a gift because I'll take over the debts. When Kevin left the office that day, he was experiencing the same feelings Marcus had lived 5 years ago. But there was a difference. Marcus had taken rightful revenge, while Kevin was paying the price for his own mistakes. 2 weeks later, Technosoft Solutions officially became a subsidiary of SecureNet Solutions. Marcus hired all the employees and even increased their salaries. He apologized to clients and began rebuilding service quality. Kevin tried to make a new beginning with $80,000, but he was no longer a trusted person in the sector. Unlike Marcus, he had difficulty learning from his mistakes. A year later, Marcus was giving a speech at the city's largest technology fair. The topic was ethics and trust in business. At the end of his speech, he said, "The most valuable capital in business is trust. Once you lose it, it takes years to regain. Some never regain it. I was lucky. I caught a second chance. But most important,